Hello and welcome back to making an animated GIF with your name. I'm Chris Coffey, Instructional Technology Coach for Bamberg School District 1. This is part 2 of a video tutorial, so if you didn't see part 1, please go ahead and click on the link and go ahead and do that one first so that you'll have something similar to what I have here. And I'll show you what we're going to end up with on this one. We're going to go from this, just a plain slide, to an animated GIF. And we're pretty much done. The following steps are very repetitive, and because they're so repetitive, we're only going to do them about 3 or 4 times. And just realize if you want, you can make dozens of slides so that your transitions are a lot smoother. One thing I forgot to mention in part 1 is this is probably a good time to go ahead and save your PowerPoint. And you just go to your File tab, remember tab top, and you would click Save, and the pop-up box will come up. I've already done my save, so I have to click Save As to get my pop-up. But the file name should be your name, but you might want to call it Your Name Animation or something like that. And for now, saving it as a PowerPoint presentation is exactly what you want. There's no need to save it as a picture just yet. We're not ready for that. But you just go ahead and click Save, and that way, if something happens, your computer crashes, you're good. You don't lose what you've worked on. So we've got our base slide now, and we've checked, our name is filling up the entire width of our slide. Our image is stretched to the very edges of the slide. Our colors don't bleed into each other too much. This white and yellow right in here don't work really well together, but the star is going to be moving, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. But again, make sure all of those things are right, because if you don't have this base slide correct, then everything else is going to be a little off. So with that being said, I'm going to come over here to our preview pane, and I'm going to right click on number 1 slide, and I'm going to go down to duplicate slide, and I'm going to do that a couple times so that I have 4 slides. Now you can just click on it, copy and paste, but duplicate will give you the exact same thing. Sometimes when you're pasting slides, if you've applied a background incorrectly, the backgrounds will, the design will kind of mess up. So I like to duplicate it, that way there's less chance of messing up. Now we're actually going to start down at the bottom. All of these are identical, so that's a good start. And this is our finished picture. We want it to blow up, and you can see the last slide is right there. It's moving fast, so it's hard to stop, but that's the slide when it's fully expanded star. That's what we want as our final slide. So now I'm going to click on slide 3, and I'm going to click on my image. It's really important when you're clicking on your image that you don't click in the middle where your name is, or else it's going to give you an edit box for your name. We don't want that. We're going to click on our image, and we're going to right click on it to get our menu, and we're wanting to format the shape. This is one of the options. I'm going to show you a couple different ways. Remember, this is a fun little activity, but it's also a great way to learn some of the menus and properties in PowerPoint. So one way we can change the properties of this star is going to format shape. When you do this, it starts at fill, so the fill color, and you have your entire list of options that you can change, all your format options. And remember, when we say the word format, we like to think of the words characteristics. So if we format something, we're changing its characteristics. So I'm going to come down here to size, because that's what I'm looking for. And how small do I want it? Right now, it's 2 by 2. Yours might be slightly off. It might be 1.8, 1.9, or it might be 2.1. That's okay. As long as it's close to 2, you're okay. Well, we have 4 slides, so we want to figure out how do I get it down pretty small within 4 slides. And we'll do that by 25% each. And so what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, 25% of 2 is 0.5, so I'm going to come here and I'm going to take 0.5 away from 2. I'm going to get 1.5. And I hit enter. I shouldn't have hit enter because now it looks all funky. But if you make that same mistake, you can right click and go back through format shape, size, and do the same thing to the width, because you want the width and the height to be the same. And then you can either hit the enter button or hit close, and we have it here. Now if you're in your home tab like I am, I can come over here. Notice my image is still selected. I can come over here to arrange, and I can go down to align, and I can align center, and then go back up to arrange, go back down to align, go align middle, and now it's perfectly in the middle. A little bit busy for me. So let's see if we can make the next slide go a little bit faster. On slide 2, I'm going to change the format again, but all I really need is the size. So again, I'm going to right click on my shape, and instead of going all the way to the bottom where it says format shape, notice I can change the size and position. Okay, and what I could do is just come here. Now I could say 1.5, but my last slide was 1.5, so I want to go 0.5 less than that. So we're going to say 1, because each one is going down by 0.5 of the last one. So 25% smaller each time. And I hit enter, and I've got my little small star. And again, I could come up here to arrange, and that will work. But what I could also do is come up here to my format tab, and I've got an align option right here. So align center and align middle. It does the exact same thing, it's just in another part of the program. Now in this last one, I want to make it even faster, because when I went to this align in our format tab, I noticed that I have size already in here. So a lot of these properties, when I right click, see, when you're on the name, that's what happens. It's getting small, so it's hard to see. I'll go up to my next slide. When I come down here to format shape, pretty much all of these options are in my format tab. So if I want to stay on a slide, I can change the formatting of an object. Or if I want, like if I'm in the home tab and I want to stay in that home tab, I can stay there. Or I can go to the format tab, and I get all those options in here. So the reason I would want to use this tab is now I can just come here and say, okay, well this is going to be 1. Oh no, this is going to be 0.5. The last one was 1. So I'm going to do 0.5. It's important to know math when you're doing graphic designs of any kind. And then I can go align, center, align, middle. And that's a lot faster than what we were doing in slide 3, doing everything with our menu options. So remember, that format tab, you can change so much about your objects, about your shapes, and about your words very quickly if you just go ahead and stay in that format tab when you're working on your shapes and graphics and things. So that was one of the things I was hoping you'd take away from this. We'll see. And what we have now is we have our 4 slides. Each one goes down by 25%, so they're even spaces. If you wanted to, you could add more. If I had 10 slides, I would go down by 10% or 0.2. If I wanted to, add 20 slides, just figure out what the percentage is. To make it equal. So 25, 50, 75, 100%. Now we don't want to go down to 0. Our next slide would be absolutely no star in this regard, but we're not starting with 0, we're starting with 1. So this is 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. And that's what you want to do. You want to figure out percentages. If you have any questions about that, please email me. I'll clarify it. But for this one, we're just using 25%. Now, we've got the bulk of it done, no problem. What we're ready to do now is save this. First off, we want to save the PowerPoint in case we mess up on anything. Now, I went to the File tab and clicked Save. Notice the box didn't come up this time. Or this little blue icon is supposed to be a disk. A lot of my students have never used floppy disk before, so they don't know what the image is, but it is saved, so you could just click on that. It will also save for you. If you're a student in Bamberg, please make sure you're saving to the H drive so you can access this PowerPoint later. But what we want to do now is save as. So you saved it as a PowerPoint, now we're saving as, so File, Save As. And you can keep it with the same name, but what we want to do is come down here to PowerPoint presentation, save as type, and change that. I like using PNG. You could use a JPEG if you wanted to, but I think PNGs are a little bit clearer, a little bit higher definition. That's been my own experience. And I'm going to save. And it's going to ask, do you want to save every slide or the current slide? You want to save every slide. And it's saved. It saved it to my desktop. So now I've got it. I can go ahead and close out the PowerPoint. Easy enough. Now what I want to do is I want to go to a website. Let me bring my browser into view. I want to go to a website called gifmaker.me. That's GIF. Sounds like GIF or reads like GIF. Everybody calls it GIF. Maker.me. And then we want to upload images. And what you want to do, I'll go back to my desktop. I've already done it twice, so you see two files, but I want to find the file. It will put your pictures in their own folder. And I've done it twice, so it doesn't like it. So I'm going to go right here into Chris 2. And then what you want to do, you select them all in one time. The easiest way to do that is if you click on one of them and then hit the Control button and the A button on your keyboard, you'll see they'll all get highlighted, and you want to open them up and notice how they've all got in line here, and this is showing me a preview. Now we can change the canvas size some, but I really don't want to. I've got it about where I want it, but I do want to change the animation speed. It's going so slow, it's really choppy. The more images you have, the smoother it will be, but for 4 images we want it to move fairly quickly. So we're going to go down to about 300, and 300 is pretty good. It's you can come in here and type it, or you can move the scroll bar. 300 is pretty good. It's fairly smooth, it's fairly fast, but it's not annoying. If you go down really fast, down to say like 0, it's flying, it looks like it's flickering, not what we want. Even 100, a little bit annoying. So 300, you see the animation, but it's not annoying. And then you're going to come down here. We're not going to add any YouTube music kind of things. We're going to go ahead and create now. And you can view it, or you can go ahead and download the GIF. I'm going to do that. And I'm using Chrome, so it's popped up here. But if you go to your downloads folder, it will open up for you, or you can just go ahead and open it up, and there we go. That's the one I just created. So hopefully this was a fun experience for you, and hopefully you're realizing that, right-clicking to get to menus is an option. Sometimes it's not the best option. Learning your tabs is very important, and learning the properties and how to format properly on PowerPoint really gets you some cool things once you start getting comfortable with it. So please watch this video as many times as you want. Subscribe to my channel for other cool little videos to show you how to do things, but more importantly, try it, play with it, change the colors, change the speeds, change whatever you want to, and figure out new ways to do things, because that's the way most people learn best with computers. I'm glad you're watching these videos, but honestly you need to be able to experiment on your own and discover things on your own. And if you find something cool that you want to share with me, please email me. It's ccoffee@bamberg1.net, and always pleased to take your questions or comments as well in the comments section below.